overall experience of student accommodation was obviously I was a bit afraid because most companies you just phone and then they send you a place and get there. There's usually hardly any help. You're much more treated like just a number generally, and because they've been doing this for a number of years, obviously you're just another student. You enter, they process you, and whatever problems come along, you deal with them. But that's not the experience I found, obviously, with this specific company, my student house. Apart from after the phone call, I was obviously new to the city. She was the caretaker I was assigned to at the student house that I was going to go to. Went the extra mile in trying to make sure I actually get to the house. I met an actual person, and rather than feeling like it's a
What was
company,
your initial impression when you arrived on the property?
my initial impression when I arrived at the property, so I was lucky enough to get to Wageningen and wow, stunning. The area alone, safe, beautiful. We had parks, and then the house itself, the accommodation was beautiful. I mean, you used to have a view from the window. The facilities, the bed was big enough. I was always right over the bed. The bathrooms were proper. Wi-Fi was excellent. The students I was living with were pretty decent, and obviously my caretaker, I'll never forget her, Barbara, an absolute darling. And then I moved to Burnside Road, which had recently been renovated, so the facilities had kept up to the standards. And then there I got the feeling of an inner city, of a house that's brand new renovated. I used to personally love the showers, they're massive. And then my student liaison and caretaker was Tabisa, what a brother, so it was pretty amazing for me. And I was closer now to campus because that was the initial reason why I moved. But the facilities, I mean, so yes, my name is Ndumiso Gumede, and I am currently a student who had the luck of living at my student house facilities, and this has been my general experience, which is one of just pretty much awesomeness.
How would you how would you rate the facilities and yeah.
I mean, the facilities, obviously the basic needs are taken care of. We need hot water. So the water was always hot. Um, you, you, you get hot water, you get a gas stove. I remember at Burnside Road, we used to have a gas stove. They always had, supplementary to keep inside. Obviously, you just got to make sure it doesn't run out. So you do need someone to take care and remember of that. Um, Maybe, I don't know, maybe an oven would have been more sufficient if you carried on, but there are two fridges which are big enough. There is cameras, so they won't steal your food because that's also another problem. Students do get hungry. Um, they won't steal your food. There's cameras outside. I mean, we had cameras outside and inside of Burnside Road. Look, you're not living at the Hilton, but you're not suffering. So the facilities are great. Them a 7 or 8, it's pretty decent. There's always room for improvement, but this is a student house, not Clifton.
And then community and social life. Uh,
Community and social life, obviously, that's where we thrive. I mean,
mm,
yeah, my student house, I don't know where they find their characters, but you won't die. There's pretty entertaining people there. You'll find a lot of diverse characters. You'll find your quiet ones. You'll find the life of the house, myself, obviously. You will find people who you can be vulnerable with. Your caretaker obviously goes a long way into your mental health because that's your first reference for you to actually, I don't know, complain about anything, whether it's student, personal, or about the house itself generally. But you meet a lot of good people. Look, it is a student house now and then people might get a bit too rowdy, but there are measures that are put, out there to control and limit that. So when it does happen, it is sort of tightened down. But it's not an old age home, so you must remember it's a student house.
would you say you've made friends, brothers?
Yes, definitely. I mean, most of the people I met are still people I keep regularly in contact with. Not only just the people from the company, but some of the people that I lived with. Wow, just wow. Yeah, these are people I'll know probably for the next 10, 15, 20 years of my life. And I look forward to growing old with them and reliving some of the stories that we shared at my student house. Sense of community, it's not only just internal, obviously with the people people that you live with that you might try to get along. Look, obviously there'll always be characters that clash, but everyone tries to be diplomatic, decorum is needed. But externally as well, Vergelegen was pretty awesome because we had Barbara who did let the neighbors know, look man, it's a student house, I will keep them behaving, but we could play soccer in the streets. Those sort of experiences while watching the sunset are unforgettable. At Burnside Road, I mean, I remember I had known quite a number of the few neighbors, so I could go outside, they knew us, I could drink my coffee. The community and the space and area that the houses are based in is obviously safe. Those sort of things, it's a good thing that they sort of consider because not all student houses are safe. Some places are pretty rowdy. You step outside and you get robbed. That's not the experience at my student house.
Okay. And then with regards to management, how responsive was management to your needs?
Management, the management responsiveness, I was okay with because obviously you jot down an email, so I know the lady, the darling at the office that you write the emails to, she would respond to the emails, obviously, provided it's a genuine complaint. And then it would be escalated to the right figures and seen if it was fixed. Like I remember we once did maybe have a little bit of a piping problem, and it was maybe the next day, the team that fixes the piping, there was a dude, I forget his name, the blonde guy who used to come around and actually start come fixing that. So the responsiveness to fixing the problems is obviously decent. It doesn't take forever. Look, you have to be reasonable and understand the fact that they are not genies. Maybe it might take 3 to 5 days to fix some of the problems with regards to maybe a broken stove, maybe a broken pipe, but they make it livable for you. Solutions are found while they're fixing the other problem.
And then personal growth, like you feel like did you learn something while staying in our properties? Did you?
Yes, definitely. Because for me, I had never lived with people before. So I was always worried how that was going to turn out. Was it going to be violent? Was I going to kill anyone? Was I going to get killed? There's many of these questions that go through your head. But I just generally remember you do grow as a person because you learn patience. Apart from just patience alone, you learn how other people behave, how they react, learn what to say, what not to say. You get the feeling of it's like preparation for work somehow, because that's how corporate's going to be. You're not always going to find circumstances that are to your liking. You gotta learn how to live with other people. So you grow and you learn different traits about yourself while learning about other people.
Any specific skill? Cooking, maybe something. What's up?
Any specific skill? I mean, sure. Specific skills. Let me see. Oh, on my end, responsibility, man. So I remember I would have to maybe watch electricity consumption. Sometimes because I remember there was like a management for the house, and I was some sort of leader within that. So I was the first reference before you get to the caretaker to lay down your complaints or anything that needs to be updated in the house. So that was an unusual position for me because people would come to me and it would be, okay, so what do I do now? So problem solving is something that I had to learn in and along the way within the house. So that's a skill obviously I wouldn't have gotten if I'd gone through this specific experience at this specific student house, which is my student house. So responsibility, and then obviously liaising between students and management. So you also learned that there. So understanding the perspective of both sides and then seeing what's the best way to go about solving the issue. Which there weren't many to begin with. It was now and then.
Okay. Any suggestions
Suggestions.
for or improvements for future students? Like,
Improvements.
I mean, we could be perfect. You know what I mean? But
Look, man, perfection is a very hard thing to achieve for anything. There will always be teething problems, whether it could be administration or it could be, I don't know, certain things in the housing. But for me, maybe, let me think, at Burnside Road, yeah, no, I just wanted an oven to bake, but just that's it. I just wanted an oven to bake, which technically speaking, according to the rules of a student house. They didn't need to provide that, but you know, it would be a bit nice.
Okay, okay,
That's
sure.
it.
Would you recommend someone to my student house?
Would I recommend? Yes, I would recommend someone to my student house, and I actually did. And they enjoyed it. Last year, when I was living there, I had a friend who had a problem with student housing, obviously, Roby, and then I told him, contact the company, they'll be able to help you. And they were able to help him. He lived in the house in Athlone, the Aiden house, and he still misses it to this day because his experience was just that nice with not only the friends he made in the house, but also the caretaker of the house. So yes, I have recommended and I would recommend it because it's quite a simple process. If your documentation is proper, you have the money to at least just put down the deposit, everything is processed quickly. All you need to do is just move in. So yes, I
Okay.
would.
In closing, is there anything that we haven't covered about your experience
About my experience.
that you'd like to share? Or
I mean, that's pretty much it. I wouldn't think of anything that's specific, but it was a different experience because as someone who was on the other side of the country being away from home, it was a good place to land in. Because if I had landed elsewhere, I don't know how that experience would have gone. It probably wouldn't have been as positive.
okay,
Hi guys, I'm Ndumiso Gumede and I used to live at my student house. I recommend that you go to my student house because, well, it is the place to be. You will go through a lot of personal growth, you'll have fun times, there'll be events, there'll be things to do, there'll be board games, there'll be vibrant people. Your caretaker will make sure that your experience is amazing. I went there and I mean, I enjoyed it. I suggest you do. As a first year, you don't want to land in a place with too many diplomatic rules, with too many housing problems, with no water and all of that suffering. I suggest you go there as a first year because if you want to be part of a family and feel like you actually matter in a place that will hear you, my student house is the best place to do it.
okay, we live now, brother.
Oh, we live. Okay, start.
We live now, my
Oh,
nigga.
shit, we live. Okay, let me start laughing.
Okay, come on. Oh man, this brother out here flourishing. Okay, hold up. That's right. Okay, then. Just tell the people go to my student house one more time.
Yes. I mean, hi man. Once again, I'm Ndumiso Gumede. I go to my student house, and I suggest you do as well. You won't regret it.
Shout out, dog.